Now may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. I'm going to start in an unexpected place, telling you a story of old. The story goes that a disciple once complained, "You tell us stories, but you never tell us their meanings." Said the master in response, "How would you like it if someone offered you fruit and then chewed it up before giving it to you? No one can find meaning for you, not even a master." Now please do not mistake me for a master. I just share this story with you because it is so apropos to our readings tonight. Most of you have heard these stories 10,000 times, or at least every year that you've been alive on this earth. And no doubt many masters have stood right here to tell you exactly what it means. But if explanations are what you are here for tonight, then you picked the wrong church and the wrong minister to offer you a sermon. While Jesus' birth plays out on a big stage and is taken on international importance, forming the world's largest faith, I think its meaning is far more personal, and its message too individualized for anyone to lay claim on its full purpose. Jesus' birth is an invitation to be present and to witness to God's work in the world and to be invited to participate in that work. And only you can unpack what that means for in your life. And in fact, what that means in your life may change from year to year. Each time we hear this story, we are to ask ourselves, what did I hear in the story tonight? What caught my ear? What tugged at my soul? What is being asked of me now? How is God speaking to me? Perhaps one year you might be drawn to the story of Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, who is struck dumb as his elderly wife carries a child who will make straight the way for the Messiah. And thereby, you might believe it is your purpose to just sit and listen and be in awe of everything around you. Perhaps another year you feel like you are called to be John the Baptist himself, who leapt in his mother's womb for joy and takes his responsibility seriously to lower the hills and fill the valleys, making God's love and justice real in the world. Perhaps that's your call this year. Maybe at one time you are Joseph, who needs to take special care of the vulnerable by sharing even the most important and personal parts of himself, risking reputation and ridicule. Maybe another, you're the innkeeper, not the one who slams the door, but the one that said, "Come in. Even though there's no room, let me find you a space, a place where you can be protected and you can find privacy." Perhaps it's not even a human being. Perhaps this year you're enamored with that star, the star that offers direction to all who are lost. Or maybe it's the donkey who diligently does his work to bring Mary safely to Bethlehem. Or the angels who bring the good news to all that need to hear it. Or maybe this year you're the frankincense, the myrrh, and the gold, bringing joy into the troubles of the day. Perhaps you're none of these characters, but instead are part of the stories that we've been telling all Advent long of the people who led to Jesus' birth by living their lives as best they could, by being bold in their actions and by trusting God. Meaning in theology is not an equal sign. There is no single solution or purpose or expected result. Meaning is made from the story and tradition and you, all mixed in a bowl by the Spirit herself. Its so-called meaning is formed by place and time and experience that only you can bring to it. While it may be true that as someone who studied theology, I could tell you more about the culture and the context and maybe raise some questions regarding the accuracy of the story, only you Only you can uncover the meaning, the value of that story, why you're hearing it, why you're present here tonight. Perhaps today you come to this place having heard about the children being born in the war-torn Ukraine. Or maybe you just delivered backpacks and lunches to people without homes in Worcester. Or you heard Malala Yousafzai or Greta Thunberg or Amanda Gorman as they offered their modern-day Magnificat. Or perhaps you heard about the migrants stuck on the border or the dreamers having their dreams taken away. Or perhaps this year the story is far more personal than that. You wonder if hope can be born in you again this year because you've lost a loved one, or you've had a terrible diagnosis, or you're wondering if you're going to have a roof over your head because of the financial realities of the world. Or maybe you're searching for that star because you're the one who's lost. This is the real context whereby this story unfolds and becomes real. It is not for me or for anyone to tell you what this story means, but instead to lay it out in front of you time and time again so that you might find that gift that it holds for you. My job, the church's job, is to lay before you the mystery so that you can unwrap it and to give you the time and space to think about it. It is our job as storytellers, as the keepers of the sacred tradition, to encourage you to try on the story, to help you to locate your position in the story, to walk with you as you struggle with its meaning in your life. And it is our job to remind you to see in it, somewhere in it, the good news that it holds, the good news for you and for all of mankind. This is not just a story about a baby born in Bethlehem. It is not even just about Mary or Joseph or about angels or shepherds or magi. It's not about that family tree that we've been exploring this entire Advent by Ruth or Bathsheba or Tamar or Rahab. It's about you and how you will go changed from this place because you heard the story this year, because Jesus was born in you this year. This is a story which invites you in, not just into ancient history, but into the hope that it inspires in us as long as we are willing to engage with it. It is for us to hear it, to internalize it, to live it, and then as we begin to just kind of understand it, that we might go and share it, to ensure that this story is told again and again and again, because this story isn't over. It continues to unfold as long as people are willing to listen and to share it. It repeatedly gives life and offers hope to a world where life and hope are sorely needed. It is a time of year when nights are long and days are cold. It's a day when desolation and despair threatens to overtake us. And so we need a story of hope. We need to hear this story of hope again and again, and we need to believe in this story of hope so that we become this story of hope. Whatever role you've been called to this new year, may God be with you, and may you be brave enough and bold enough to live into this story as you understand it, and let it unfold in this world so that Jesus does live, so that Jesus is born, and so that hope is again with us. Amen.